What's good, party people in the place to be? It's your man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to Chop It Up. I am joined by Chuck Allen. What's good, Chuck?
What's good? How you
Yo,
doing this evening?
man, I'm good, man. Hey, man. So we got a topic we want to talk about, man. Got a topic we want to talk about. Chop it up, man. I want to talk to you about is R&B dead, right? And frankly, I just want to get right into it. Just want to get
Okay.
right into it. So, Chuck, what is R&B? What is it?
What is R&B? Well, to be honest, man, I kind of Googled R&B before we came on to discuss this topic, and from the definition, R&B is a collection or a derivative of various different types or styles of music. It's jazz, it's blues, it's boogie woogie, it's reggae, it's uh, uh, what was some of the others? It's a whole bunch of things. So I would say R&B is uh, a gumbo of sound.
Right. Yeah, man. I
It's
think
the
it.
teen version of rap.
Right, right, right. Man, you wouldn't think of it as that when you hear it, right? You
Right.
don't think of it as that when you hear it. But for those of us that grew up with it, we kind of understand it as being part of part of the soundtrack of our life. Like some of us have taken R&B music and wrote down the lyrics and set them to a girl. And some of us have taken a handful of dimes down to the corner and called the radio station and requested their favorite R&B song like 52 times back to back.
Hmm.
And some of us have danced with our favorite girl to that song, or some of us have re- we recollect memorable moments to R&B. I'll give you an example.
Right.
Even though DRS is probably more of a rap group or some kind of fusion, but anybody that has, man, maybe had somebody their age pass away, and you hear that song Gangsterline, or or anybody that has um formed their own boy band or girl group and mimic New Edition. I'm sorry. Look who we got in the building. Him, Mr. R&B himself. What's good,
Yes,
Ron? How you doing?
sir.
Uh, let's see. Everything is good. Let me bring this down. How you guys doing?
Man, I
Great.
thought you were gonna shimmy away from that thing and slide back to it.
Hey, man,
and,
that would have been a nice move. I don't know if I can do that.
yeah, yeah. I still got it, Otis.
I definitely would have been. Oh man, if I could have been around in those times, bro. Whew, man.
Those were, man. I know a lot of people have their favorite time, but I yo, Tri-Borough Gigolo was in the building. What's good, Tri-Borough's in the building. What's good?
Salute.
But bro, that I ain't gonna lie to you, Mr. Ron. The 70s had an era with like Blue Magic and Fifth Dimension and the Spinners and the Temptations, the Papa Was a Rolling Stone era, the funk, the heavy bass guitar, boom, 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 boom. That era right there, mm, mm. Bro, I was like a little teeny kid. I was like maybe about 4, 5, 6, 7 years old during that time, man. Bro, you talking about an era of music?
Mm.
Oh man.
I, man, what a treat! I can't imagine. This is why, like, my son plays guitar, and but he has like an acoustic guitar, and he has an electric guitar. But even when he plays it, I'm like, I like it, I hear it, but I really wish you had a bass guitar. I want to hear that boom, 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 boom. I want to hear that.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Yeah. 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 I understand. I love the rhythm. I love the rhythm and blues part, R&B. I love the rhythm and blues part. But certain things that bass line in songs, like when you hear certain songs, boom, 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 boom. You like, that's Junkyard Dog. That's Junkyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Grab
yeah,
your cakes.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So the question that has been asked to everybody around, and we are asking ourselves, is R&B dead?
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand like the origins of R&B, but I know R&B to be um melodic, very, 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 very background singer heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unlike other things of music where they harmonize, right? R&B has the combination of background singing, orchestration, flair, lyrics. Yeah, man. So Chuck, let me get right to it. Let me get right to it with R&B. Let me get right to it with R&B, right?
Right.
With R&B, did R&B just kill over and die, or had it been living, or had it been dealing with a slow death?
Um, I think it's been going through a slow death. Only because there's been a plethora of people who can't sing that are labeled R&B singers, and then their music
Okay.
doesn't necessarily reflect traditional R&B. Um, because now uh, you have more hip hop blended with R&B, um, and it's hard to distinguish the two. Because if you listen to a lot of rap now, it borrows a lot from the R&B origins. That's why a lot of the songs are more melodic. Even the most uh, violent lyrics are harmonized and sung. You know, uh, so there's no real distinction between the two. And then some of your favorite traditional R&B artists are doing more pop and dance music. Like I would put Neo in the category of traditional R&B
Okay.
and Usher, but their latest or most recent efforts was more dance, uh, electronic, um, or world music, and not the traditional ballads and things that we've been accustomed to, like "You Got It Bad" or uh, uh, Do you ever think of me, or do you
Let
ever
It Burn.
by Mia, or Let It
Yeah.
Burn? Like we aren't getting
Champagne
songs
Life.
like that anymore.
Yeah, Champagne Life.
Right.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
We're getting Eat the Booty Like Groceries.
Yeah. Hmm.
So there's a, I say it started to go that way with the arrival of Belle Biv DeVoe, because they were R&B with hip hop, mixed with hip hop with pop appeal,
Right.
and a majority of their songs will start off R&B, and then here comes the rap break.
Okay.
Backstage, underage, adolescent, how you doing? And so it was like, oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's just my little quick synopsis. What about you, Ron?
I think R&B is dead in the most truest form of what we grew up on knowing it to be, of what soul singers embodied it to be. R&B, it's rhythm and blues, right? Getting through your pain, getting through your problems, putting all that out there. But it was also about love. It's love music
Right.
at its core. And today, people don't want to talk about love. They ain't singing about love. They singing about other stuff, more of the lust nature of things. And there's nothing wrong with that, because R. Kelly is one of the best at making those type of songs. He can do a love thing and he could do the lust thing. He did really well at it. And other people try to copy that style. Avant was another one who did really good at it.
Right.
So there's a lane for it. It's just now it's kind of engulfed and took over everything. It's all of music now. It's either you talking about clapping cheeks, or it's a joint that there's not much substance to, but it has a good rhythm, a good beat, because people just want to move their hips.
Right.
That's the new level of R&B right now. But I will say there is some R&B that is out there that makes me think that R&B music itself is not dead. You got people like Summer Walker, SZA, Snow Allegra, Division. These people sing and they make really good
Ella May.
music.
Ella May is
Ella
really
May
good.
is dope
It's
too.
really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
There's tons of people who really still bring it. It's
Right.
just the type of music that is being put out there commercially nowadays is a little different. It's not that same R&B feel. I think maybe some people just are not in that love mode, and also true R&B back in the day, that really get in your soul R&B. Some of it was pretty slow, and people
Yeah.
just like to move now. That's the thing.
I'm gonna put the thing out here for Triborough, man. Triborough, my guy. He a music expert. He an expert.
Oh,
man.
definitely.
There you go.
Definitely.
There you go, Tri.
I rock with
And
Try.
I would say that the whole thing with R&B is I think we should look at the title of it. R&B is rhythm and blues. And so I think a lot of music has the rhythm, but there's no blues part. There is no longing. There is no separation. There's no regret. You know what I'm saying? I think that part is missing from you. The reason why I like Ella May so much is because there's the rhythm part and there's also the blues part, right? There's the something went wrong and I need to correct the thing. Like we need to break up. I mean, we broke up. Let's get back together. I think that element is missing. Like the dance part to your point, I think that totally goes to pop. Bubblegum pop will always exist because people at some point people are just gonna want to have a good time, right?
Yeah.
They are just gonna want to dance, right? Right, like one of my favorite R&B songs is a joint by Sunshine Anderson. Heard it all before. Every time I go in the club and I can hear it playing, I can hear, you know how the DJ play the lead in, look at you, and you're like, oh nigga, my jam, hold my cup. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 2010. Hold my beer. And when you get out there, or you get out there and you know what I'm saying, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And like and then there are other songs like for instance, another song that I really love, and I feel like I got to hear it every time I go to like a party or something, is a song called "Set It Off" by Strafe. Right? It's not disco. It's not R&B. It's not. You don't know what to call it because many songs don't come. You don't hear. You don't hear a 5 second whistle blow in a song anymore, like you do in Strafe, like in Set It Off. They're like, did they just blow a whistle for 5 seconds? Yeah, I mean, and so what it is, what I'm getting at is, even when you harken back to say a classic R&B group, like one of the best R&B groups of all time, probably definitely one of the best R&B groups out of the 80s and some 90s. Had members coming and going and all this stuff. Probably one of the best R&B groups of all time, Tony. You could hear in their lyrics and their musicianship, like Tony had a song called "My Ex-Girlfriend Is a Hoe," right? And so when you listen to the song, "My Ex-Girlfriend," and then the background singers are like, "Girlfriend is a hoe," and you listen to the song and you're like, the rhythm is there and the blues is there because this dude can't believe his heart is broken because while she was his girlfriend, she was a hoe, right? But he is clearly sending a message to everybody letting him that he had to let her go. So now she is his ex-girlfriend, right? And I don't know if you get any of that. I don't know if you get any of that anymore. I think men are so proud now. They too proud to be vulnerable. I think that's why some R&B may not shine through like it used to.
Or they don't have those experiences.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Because when you watch these interviews with some of these artists, the older artists that we love, that we just talked about, there's a story behind those lyrics. You know what I mean?
right.
So if you haven't had your heart broken, if you haven't been cheated on, if you haven't gotten a false paternity, you haven't had gone through anything traumatic, then how can you write to that? You know what I mean? And then also go back to something that you said. Everyone wants to dance.
Yeah.
If you stay in party mode, you never have to deal with anything serious. Because even R&B's cousin, rap, is that way. Right. Yo, man, who cares about lyrics? Yo, I don't want to be thinking about a metaphor while I'm on the dance floor. And I'm like,
right,
is that it? We're just partying with no substance. That's it.
Salute.
Yeah, man.
So
trying to burrow in the building.
So R&B is in that lane now where it's, yo, I'm trying to sell records and be played in the club. And guess what? Guess what they don't do in the club anymore? Slow it down. Do you remember when the DJ used to have an R&B set and you tried to, we're shorty with the fat, try to get up? They don't do that anymore. So why are you going to make music where they're not going to play that in the club anymore? Because that's what everybody wants to do, get played in the club, right? So if they're not doing that, so why am I going to make a song like that when I could just make, blame it on alcohol?
Right. Yeah.
Tri Burrows in the building. What you got to say, Tri?
I definitely agree with everybody's point, especially what Ron was saying about, a lot of the kids now, they don't want to Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Um,
What's
Yeah.
good, bro?
yeah. What's up? Yeah, they don't want to. I feel like the R&B now is not respectful anymore, like how it used to be. You know,
Okay.
like from the generation we grew up in, we had Al Green, we had Stevie Wonder, we had Luther Vandross, Anita Baker, and the R&B now is more ratchet, it's more raunchy because that's what the kids, even with the rap, that's what they're growing up on now. So it's like there's no values, it's no tastefulness done in R&B in this era. But you still have a handful of artists, like I mentioned, LMA and
Fire.
Giveon. Her. I thought her album from last year was the best R&B album last year, and she did it without a whole bunch of features on her album. She didn't use no auto tune. She plays instruments. I think she's one of the best R&B artists of this era. You know what I'm saying? So, and then like when you have like artists from 30 years ago, like from my generation in the 90s, when we had Kenny Lattimore and Boys to Men, they dropped solo projects last year that went under the radar. Nobody talked about those albums, and they were straight R&B albums. And I think it's more of a movement going on right now in R&B and to give the younger artists the limelight, and they kind of ignore the the other artists from yesteryear. So that's what I'm seeing, and I'm even in hip hop we're seeing that a lot, where it's like there's a lot of like the kids they
Try
don't
that.
want it.
That's not new.
No, I'm not saying it's new. It's more, but I'm seeing it's more prevalent now in R&B than it
Okay.
was back in like the 2000s or 2010s. At least in
Yeah.
the 2010s, you had artists like The Weeknd and Frank Ocean, and then you
Right.
had like the whole the British invasion with Ed Sheeran and Adele they were
Right.
coming out with great music, and then it was like our own artists, they were in their feelings because they were like, well, how come Adele is getting more publicity than our artists? And it's because they were making great music.
Right.
Adele is she's a beautiful woman. She's a great singer. She was coming out with great albums that a lot of our artists wasn't doing that at the time. I love Music Social, but when was the
Right.
last time people talked about his albums?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I see that in rap too. Is like they're not, the kids of today are not interested in lyrics. They want to hear something that's catchy. They want to be able to dance. They're not paying attention to what Black Thought has to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that I think that has to change with R&B as a whole, because we only have a couple of artists that are still doing traditional R&B, but it's not everybody. And I think that wave has to change to the point where it's become normal again to hear tasteful R&B.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know what happened. I'm actually kind of sad about it because I love R&B music so much. I still listen to the same artists that I've always loved. I'm telling you, my soundtracks that my musical playlist that I made them joints maybe about 8 years ago. I still rock them joints like if it's the first time I'm listening to them because I
What's
like.
on it? What's on the playlist?
Oh man, a playlist for me, like I got different types of moods, right? So I got like my baby making playlist, you know. Even though we ain't making no babies,
Right. Right.
we still trying. But
Right.
anyway,
We did a child support show earlier, just for the record. Just one of those vibes and stuff. We did.
Wow.
Chuck, am I lying? Did we not do a baby mama show earlier on?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
well,
Yeah.
that playlist might be it might be a song by Cut Close called "I Like."
Yeah.
I know you know that song, Freezy.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. It could be "A Meeting in My Bedroom" by Silk.
So yeah.
It could be "Baby Maker" by Day 26. Like I like music. You don't have to be a known artist or big time, even though Day 26 could sing. It's just all about the vibe of the song and how I really like gravitate to the music. Like there's a song on there by K Michelle and Bobby Valentino. and it's a fire song, but it's like them playing off of each other and the flow of the music, because it reminds me, it gives me that 90s feel. I'm really, when it comes to R&B, I love the 90s feel, but I also like the 70s. I like 80s R&B, even though 80s R&B, I think some people point to 80s R&B, like the young people, thinking that that's the way the music's going to sound. It's going to be all slow. It's going to be Freddie Jackson. It's going to be Will Downing. It's going to be Keith Washington. Nothing wrong with that, because that music is fire. But some of them true, real R&B singers, it's more about, it's not necessarily about even the music. It's about the words and how they're singing to you, because the voice is what matters. And for some people, they don't want to hear that. They want that rhythm. They want to move. Like there's a song by it's a African artist. You hear it everywhere now. You hear it in the clubs.
Yeah.
I know you know what it is, because it plays everywhere. Like that is what new R&B sounds like to some people. Like that's the wave, but it's different. It's different. It's not the same. And that's why I think Diddy, let me just point out something, because somebody said it. I don't know where I heard it right now. I'm trying to figure it out. Someone said that Diddy thinks R&B is dead. And this is a somebody who's in the music industry. Said that he doesn't. Was it him? No, it wasn't him. Okay. It was somebody else. He said that Diddy doesn't know how to hear a hit.
Oh, wow.
Not back in the day. Now, like with today's music, how people are making it, how artists are creating the sound, he can't hear it. He can't hear this sound being a hit. He only hears the 90s. He hears that sound. So he can't hear what's a hit today. So that's why they say he thinks R&B is dead, because he can't get with this sound.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Oh, that is fascinating.
It was Timbaland? I think John said it was Timbaland in the chat. So maybe it was him.
Okay. Yo, John, what's good, man? John from Still Knicks Fans is in the building. Soulfinger, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's happening, fellas? What's going down?
We asked the question: Is R&B dead? And if it is dead, did it just die overnight, or did it have a slow death?
No, it's not dead. I don't believe it's dead. It's just that some of it's changed, and then too, you have to go about what mainstream media wants to put out as well. And I kind of came in when Ron was talking, and it's like it depends on what's your flavor, because because if R&B is dead, then cats like Raheem Devon wouldn't still be putting out music. You still got Music Soul Child that's out there. You're talking about that's going out there now. But then, like you said, you want to reach down in your bag. Like I said, one of my favorite groups of all time is Levert. And you can't tell me you can't look. You can reach into Rope-a-Dope style, and you can pull out that and just let it go. You can go into For Real though. Which I ain't gonna lie, that album, that's how I got my first child. I ain't gonna lie, firstborn. Was to that. I just gonna say, do things, make you do things. But anyway, keep pushing on that. So but it's what's out there. And then too, times have changed. So when you're talking about the 80s, listen to the lyrics what they're singing in the 80s vice with some of the stuff they're singing now, some of the main, because it's singing about the same thing, but a little bit more, they straight to the point, more direct with it in a lot of aspects. For instance, in the 90s, take the 90s, for instance, Intro.
Yeah, I remember Intro.
That cut, if you listen to what he's saying, if you really listen to what's going down on that track.
If you let me come inside. If
you really listen to the track, it's because it's not straight in your face. Instead of saying, hey, I'm going this, that, and the third, and we're going to do this here while I'm rubbing you down with oils and using these things here to do what I got to do, because I'm going to make you scream as I'm spinning you from the tripod and all this, that, and the third. So, but it sounds better when you can harmonize to it. But anyway.
Hey, Sophie, you know what else? You know what else that song had? It had elite background vocals from
but of course.
from men and women.
Yes.
So you had the women singing background, and you had the men singing background also.
Well, I'll put this here. I'll say this too, Freeze. The other thing, you had harmonies.
Yeah.
You had, and then the other thing too is how music is actually made, because you still had cats that were playing a lot more instruments then than you do now. Now, granted, it just depends on what you want to do, but it's how you come up. D'Angelo's last album he dropped, you heard all the instruments he had in that.
Yeah.
So, and in songwriting, because it depends on who's writing the song. Because you got people like, we're gonna use our own Chuck. Now, Chuck got, our man Chuck, and if anybody's watching don't know about Chuck, Chuck got fire. He got some fire. He got some stuff, man, that I say should really, somebody should be beating down his door. He should be up there with
Chuck and Allen is the reason why R&B is dead, because he's saving it, holding it for himself.
Well, look, hey.
Chuck got all these fire R&B beats and he's saving them all for himself. That's the reason why.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, this, Chuck is one of those versatile cats. He can go either way. Oh, you need some hip hop? What kind of hip hop you need? You want to go down, do some of that some Timbos and blunts, grungy, hard. He got you. Or you want that walking on the beach barefoot in your little linen fit, holding your girl's hand.
Christopher Williams.
Yeah, you want to go all Christopher Williams on them or what? Chuck can do that. But you don't have a lot of producers that are versatile enough to bring out things in artists. If that makes any sense, well, I think what has an effect on R&B. Because you have some cats, if you listen to their songs, it's kind of like the same. The melody is almost the same. And then they're kind of singing along the same. You don't have somebody that can produce and bring out something different. No, man, that sounds like your last track, rubbing on your left butt cheek. We don't want that. I need to give me something else. You see what I'm saying? So R&B isn't dead. It's just that you just got to go out and way I look at it is, if an individual can't sing, not sing, but sing, don't give them the props. Don't listen to because they got good music. Because a lot of them, they hide behind the music or auto-tuning and stuff. If you can't sing, don't give them the props. Because you got people that say can sing, and they sound like a doggone cat getting strangled and drowned at the same time. But the music sound good. That's all.
Okay. Well, and I was just going to say, it's also not a predominant genre of music anymore.
No, it's not.
And that leads to the music being better, the competition. Because back in the day, you guys know when R&B was really R&B, or when it was hitting, you came. I don't even want to. I'm not even going to say the 90s. I'm going back for like 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Yo, all them R&B joints was fire because everybody, you couldn't come out with nothing whack. It ain't gonna get played. It was all fire from everybody. So
right.
Yeah.
And I would agree with some. I just can't remember. I just can't. And I know what the data says. Y'all know I'm an analytics person, right? But on this one, I'm just going by the eye test, right? I just can't remember a time where back then where music was called R&B. I remember when back then it was just called black
music. Yeah, black music or just soul.
Yeah, even soul. Even the first separation I remember from music was a thing called funk.
Yeah.
Right? Funk was everything was black music until you heard the term funk. And there was others like jazz, but jazz wasn't a type of music that was aimed at because how I remember funk was jazz musicians used to get dressed up in these suits and play jazz at these these bebop clubs, right? But then later on in the night when they was all high and could cut loose, when they was in their zone, when they was in their element, they would cut loose, and then all of a sudden they would let the drummer do a break, and he would be like, boom, back, boom, 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 back, boom, boom, back, boom, 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 back, boom, boom. That's not jazz. That's them breaking away and doing something from
Oh,
themselves.
themselves, yeah. Along with the bass, the bass guitar player.
Yeah.
We know that. And and that's one of the main things. That's another element there because they changed up the whole thing, or even the bass in general.
Yeah, and it turned out to be like the funk came like at the Ohio Valley area, like funk coming out of there. Like you got I forget what the first funk group was, but it wasn't the Ohio Players. They came along like 5 or 6 years later. But it was like that group out of Ohio, your Parliament Funkadelic, your Sly and the Family Stone, your Jimi Hendrix kinda was a little was more rock, but some funky in there. You know what I'm saying? But just to the main point, I don't remember R&B back then.
No.
Even when groups like the Fifth Dimension was out, that was Fifth Dimension. All of that was like still like soft rock, kinda edgy, a little bit. I don't really remember R&B being called R&B.
No, I'm gonna tell
until
you
late 70s and early 80s, like Shannon, Evelyn Champagne King, because
Shirley
the
Murdoch,
yeah, because it was the separation was funk and then disco, right? Funk and then disco, soul, right? Soul music was like on the undercurrent, and then like this thing, hip hop kinda
came in and just blew up.
Yeah, and
before
then
because because hip hop wasn't considered music by older. What is that they just talking over the whatever, but nobody really understood. But I'll tell you this, my real introduction to you say R&B. I mean, because my brother was older. I'm the youngest out of 5. And I'm the youngest out of 5, and when your brother's like 17 years older than you are. 17.
That mean you're a baby.
Yeah, you're a baby, so, and I'm coming up along the time where, and I'm really going to be dating myself because, Freezy, you appreciate this. When you had your record player, you had to take the tape recorder with the microphone to record your music, to put it in your, and then you had your cassette, you had the adapter to the 8-track.
Right.
So you can ride around, but everybody got to stay quiet in the house.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. So that's you
had to do it when everybody went to church.
Yeah, going to church. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody went to church. Then the house was quiet. Yeah. Nah,
so my introduction, was because I grew up on funk. I loved funk growing up. Barcades, Cameo. Cameo was when I was a little kid, was my favorite group. I mean, I still bump Cameo. Still, all that I still bump today. But one of the albums like Maggot Brain. That's one of my favorites because of my brother. Because, I roll with my brother, he bumping Maggot Brain. I know what a Maggot Brain was. I just know it sound good. I didn't know, I just like the way it sound, the way it make you feel. But when he was when he was dating my sister-in-law, she had all her music. So between them, when they lived together, they had a 2-bedroom apartment. The second bedroom was nothing but albums between the both of them. Just nothing but albums.
In milk crates.
In milk crates. And I just remember just going through there, just looking at the covers like, man, this look good. Man, this look good. So what I got out of them.
You talking about like a room in Chuck's crib.
Yeah, I think Chuck house is like that. Yeah.
When you say literally digging in the crates, I would go over there literally digging in the crates.
Digging in milk crates. Yeah.
And I remember the first time my brother played Reasons. We were in there, and I was in the car with him. He had a Pinto, and we were rolling in his Pinto, and I heard Reasons, and
the whole world changed.
The whole world changed, man. Because when the birds were chirping, it sounds so much better. Yeah. The sun was all brighter, the clouds were fluffier, the sky was more bluer, and I didn't know. And the only thing I knew was Reasons. The reasons that we hear, reasons. And that's all I could sing. I didn't know anything else. And, when you're trying to get to the song, it says, sing the song, baby. Shroud, reasons. So that was me. But what I'm saying is R&B ain't dead. And you
So was
still
that the
got-
first? Was that the first R&B group you remember?
No, actually, go back a little bit further because my pop owned a bar.
Okay.
So with me, with me growing up in a bar down in Louisiana back in them days, is a whole different. That's a whole different everything. But I grew, going into the bar. I remember growing up listening to Lou Rawls and Al Green.
Yeah.
Delphonics, stuff like that, in the bar.
Yeah.
B.B. King, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Smokey Robinson, that's I said 3 Dimensions. I say 3 Dimensions. I don't know if I did, but that all that. So I had all that. So you had the old school, we consider the old school. You had that genre of R&B. I got a bow-legged guitar, so excuse me. And then you had blues. So you had all that, but still, growing up for me, you're talking about R&B. We was breaking it down. What got me is how it's been broken down in every segment. So we went from jazz to soul music, which it was used to be called. Then you had funk. Then you had blues. Now it's going back to R&B. Then we got R&B that broke off to neo soul, and neo soul is still R&B or soul music.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I feel you, man. I think. Excuse me, y'all. I think the R&B thing definitely is a deep topic, man. My thing with R&B though is, and when I say I don't remember it being called that, I do remember it existing though.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't know what to call it. It's kind of like the first time you heard that song by Johnny Kemp, Just Got Paid. Just got paid Friday night. When you heard it, you was like, this ain't R&B, it ain't rap, it's something, but you don't know what to call it. But at the time, you didn't know eventually it was going to be called New Jack Swing.
New Jack Swing, yeah. Just like CeCe Peniston.
Yeah.
Her first album.
Right.
Yeah. It's like you knew that the song existed, but you didn't know what to call it because it was, what do you call this thing? And we wasn't thinking, and I ain't even, for instance, there was a song I heard called Superman Lover, right?
Johnny Guitar Walker.
Yeah, so when you heard it, you didn't know it was so different. You were like, what do we call it? Right? Because it kind of fits in no existing category. Right? Like it's not Papa Was a Rolling Stone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also not Loving You by Minnie Riperton. It's kind of like somewhere in between.
Yeah, it had a little funk to it.
Yeah. And Minnie Riperton is to me one of the first R&B artists because it was too soft to be soul, even though her voice was strong and light at the same time. Which is, I don't know how you. I don't know what you call. Try, what do you call a Minnie Riperton type sound? What is that?
I mean, I think that's like old school R&B.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, when I hear it, it sounds like R&B to me. It sounds like how R&B used to sound.
See, and that's what they used to call soul.
Right.
Soul music, because they say, because I remember growing when I used to hear it, and the way they describe it, this is soul music. Why you call it soul music? Because it speaks to your soul when they sing it. Somebody singing soulfully or whatever. And it's correction, and let me make a correction. It wasn't good Johnny Guitar Walker, Johnny Guitar Watson.
Watson.
Hey, Watson.
Yeah. And so the thing about the thing about soul and funk, I think the fusion, like Chuck alluded to earlier, that I think all-time greats like Stevie Wonder made it easier for us to put these types of music in one category called R&B.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because when you hear songs like Superstitious, you hear the funk part and the wah-wah pedal. You hear that in Superstitious, right? Right? But then you hear him say stuff when you believe in things that you can't understand and blah 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 and oh very superstitious.
Well, you
And
know
then
what
the
else?
rhythm come in.
You know what else
And
had that too, Freeze?
yes, sir.
Tell me something good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rufus, Shaka Khan and
Rufus, yeah.
Rufus. Yeah, with that wah wah pedal, but then you got the
Mm-hmm.
lady singing like
Yeah.
it's funk and soul together. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So Chuck, what you thinking, bro?
Um, I think I think a lot of it today has to do with the production because there's not a lot of live instrumentation, so it doesn't necessarily have that feel. And I say that because you look at a group like Silk Sonic. When they hit hard. Everyone was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
yes, this is what we was missing. This is what we, you know, for an older audience, it's like, this sounds like something I'm used to. And then for people that aren't used to hearing live instrumentation, aren't used to hearing bridges and breakdowns in songs, it's like, yo, this is crazy. So I think there's a hunger for R&B. It's just not pushed to the forefront, like someone said earlier. Like it's not the dominant music of the day. So it's kind of hard when you don't have as many people on a larger scale doing. You know, yes, you have your Lucky Days, you have your Hers, you have
Mm-hmm.
what's my man that kind of sounds like Prince?
Who? Ro James?
Ro James. There you go. There you go. Like you have those singers, and you're like, okay, yeah. Or you have what's baby girl name? Man, I gotta stop smoking. Jasmine Sullivan. Like you're like, okay, R&B isn't dead, and like I don't believe it's dead as long as you have people like that constantly putting out music. Um, it's about support because if you have more people supporting it, then it'll be a
Mm-hmm.
lot bigger. I feel
Okay.
like also where R&B lost its footing is when they got rid of all the groups. When was the
You know
last
what,
time
Chuck?
you seen an
For
R&B
real.
group,
Good point. Good point, Chuck.
right? So once you take away that, and then you have a bunch of people that can't really, they really can't sing. Like I don't know if anyone saw that verses
Oh, oh.
with all those terrible singers.
Oh
Yep.
man,
And
yeah,
it was
with
like,
Omarion and all of them.
And Mario
Yeah.
and Ray J and
I mean, if you were to rate that, if you had to rate that versus, it was either going to go double bar doo doo or wood.
Facts.
yeah.
it was
And
terrible.
yeah. Chuck, I think that there are a lot of singers out there that are very, like for instance, how do you feel about Frank Ocean?
I think he's a great singer. I like his.
Yeah, I
I
like
like
Frank
his
Ocean.
lyrics.
He needs more material out though. He doesn't have a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Try. You know who else is like that?
Mm.
A singer called Rashawn Patterson.
Rashawn Patterson.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Rashawn Patterson.
In the
Yes.
'90s, when he dropped his stuff. You know about was that 90? Hold on, 97, 98. He had his
Yeah.
stuff going, and then he made that he disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he has this joint. I'm telling you, whenever I get on a highway, like say for instance, I'm going to visit Tri, right? I know it's gonna be like a 10-hour drive. I'm putting on cats like Rashawn Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
The Spend the Night joint by Rashawn Patterson.
Yeah.
Bruh, that I can make it. See, I can't drive 10 hours listening to Tupac because I'll mess around and burn out of energy. I'll be to have to stop like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? I'm burning too much energy too fast. But Rashawn Patterson, I could throw that on and I'll be there just about around the time that I told Try I was gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Tupac, man, I'm stopping in Virginia and DC and Delaware before I get there. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about that is some cats are just, they know how to manage R&B. And I give you Soulfinger, I give you an artist that deserves a lot of credit for pushing R&B into the 80s and don't get it. Cheryl Lynn.
Yes.
Cheryl Lynn did music with Toto.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl Lynn did music with Luther Vandross.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a great singer across genres.
But doesn't get the credit.
But she don't get. And another is Roberta Flack. People remember Roberta Flack for a lot of ballads, but everything can't be Peaches and Herb. You understand what I'm saying? Everything can't be disco on one end and see, because Peaches and Herb was disco on one end. Like in the album, it's disco and soul music. That's what it is. It's boom 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 boom. Check it, yeah. And so you got that, thing. And then at the end of the album, it's reunited, and it feels so good.
So good, yeah. You went from one end to the spectrum, it came across the other end.
Yeah, and I know those wasn't on the same album. I'm just saying, like when you look at their music,
general, you're looking at their catalog.
It can't be, you know what I'm saying? But Roberta Flack had like all the songs, well, not all of them, but a lot of the songs that you hear people use for hooks and stuff. Roberta Flack,
Roberta Flack, and it's always their ballads though that really that's grabbing everybody, because you think about it, you think about the ballads,
right?
Right. It's like Betty Wright,
right?
And her songs, because she's been sampled a lot as well, but you don't think about all the other stuff that come on. But it's just as you keep going and talking about, as you're talking about this, and because I think it was Ron said when it was Chuck, you're talking about R&B because it's so, you can't package it and just put it in a little whatever. This is R&B. I don't really, rhythm and blues, but I still think of it even today as soul music. That's just the way I look at it. Call me an old soul. I just want to tell, hey Chuck, I was going to ask you, or all of you, have you cats ever listened to Eddie Hazel, or ever heard of Eddie Hazel?
No, I never heard of him.
That name sounds familiar.
Well, he played with Bootsy, and he's got an album. It's funk, but it's got an album, and I think Chuck, especially Chuck, you'll especially dig it. Games, Dames, and Guitar Things.
Okay.
I like the name.
Yeah. He's got some stuff on him, man. If you like the guitar and all like that, so let's just lay on the funk. That was just on the funk. And I just, while I was when we got to talking about funk, it was on my head, and I just want to shoot that to Chuck. I recommend, all of you to check him out. But I wanted Chuck to take, make a recommendation to Chuck to see what he can do, because I know Chuck do the things that he does, he could probably do some more fire.
More fire. So Ron,
he did California Dreamer, right?
He did what, Chuck? I'm sorry.
California Dreamer.
Yeah,
okay.
California Dreaming.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Ron, where does Aretha Franklin fit in this conversation?
The Queen of Soul.
See, now, right there, real quick, you said the Queen of Soul, but then what's funny is when they talk about R&B, they throw her in the R&B.
Right.
So if you're talking about R&B is rhythm and blues, and Aretha is the Queen of Soul, well, isn't R&B still considered soul music? I'm just saying.
I feel like they go hand in hand. It's just that I felt like soul music was a little. There was a lot more feeling and meaning behind the music, so it was a little different. It could be a little. I mean, I don't know how do you say it like in the easier way. For someone who doesn't know can digest it. It might have been a little sadder or a little slower. It doesn't have to be sadder. The music could have still been, the subject matter could have been not as sad, but the music it felt slower.
Well, this is the other thing too. If you look thinking about those singers, such as Aretha and a lot of those great singers like that, a lot of them came out of the church. If you think about that, when they first started cutting their teeth in the singing game, and they cut their teeth and they sang, like I said, it's a difference. You either a good singer or you a good singer,
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you speaking and I don't. And speaking of singing, shout out to our man DSJ.
Salutes DSJ in the building.
What's going on? Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to the panel. I didn't know this was gonna be a panel thing, but of course, always wanted to show love and support. You know what I mean?
I just wanted to answer Freezy's question because I don't know if I really did. The Queen of Soul. I think she is just that, the Queen of Soul, and she embodies what I feel is soul music as well as R&B, because Aretha's career spans, it's generational. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how many times the genre can change, she's been a part of that. She's even, you want to say she's been introduced into pop too with the I don't know what's the name of the song. Freeway. We got
it on the freeway. Freeway of love.
Yeah. Like she's done it all. Like
look what she did with Lauryn Hill, Ron.
Yeah, a rose is not a rose.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Like so. And the other thing about it is not only is she given that moniker of the Queen of Soul, but it's also she's when we were talking about before. That's another thing that I appreciate about the type of music. That's why I love it so much. I'm big on the sangers. Now, people who sing the sangers. So
I don't know if Aretha is soul though. I think she's R&B. When I think soul, I think Major Harris. Yeah, and y'all familiar with Major Harris, right?
Is that a T.I.'s son?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The dude that used to play quarterback for West Virginia. I don't know what it is about people naming their son Major Harris, but yeah, I think Major Harris. I think Teddy Pendergrass.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I think pouring out your soul is what I'm thinking, right? Like I'm not thinking RESPECT. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I know that, and I know it might be the difference might not be major, but when I'm thinking soul music, I'm thinking Larry Graham, 1 in a Million.
Donny Hathaway.
You know what I'm saying?
Lenny
Hathaway.
Yeah.
Lenny Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about when I think soul. And I know I think that the difference between the line may be minuscule, but that's just what I'm thinking when I think soul. When I think soul, man, I'm thinking Joe Cocker. Anybody remember Joe Cocker? The British white guy? Yeah. The cats from Britain will make R&B and soul, and you would think they from your neighborhood, because when you hear the Beatles version of "With a Little Help from My Friends," with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends, and then you hear Joe Cocker, you know what I'm saying, with I don't know if them ladies was black or not, but they damn sure sound like it. You know what I'm saying?
You know who else, Freezy? You just said that, and it kind of messed you up. I didn't mean to cut you off. My man, What You Won't Do for Love?
Bobby Caldwell.
Caldwell.
Of course.
When he dropped that, I mean, to see Bobby, if you don't know what Bobby Caldwell looked like, then you see Bobby Caldwell, you be like, well, that didn't come out of him.
Right.
It's like
that's that blonde hair, blue eyed soul.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I'm sorry for being the music encyclopedia, bro. I just got a head full of music. I just can't. It's just me, man.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what
There's
makes
nothing
you
wrong with that.
Freezy.
Yeah.
And let me tell you
Yeah.
something. Then you got other artists that went the pop route that could have been R&B artists. Because
Right.
if you listen to how they sing,
Rick
songs
Astley?
and damn
Rick
it!
Astley.
Are you
Rick
in my
Astley.
head, bro? Damn
Never
it! That's
gonna
exactly
give
who I was
you
gonna say.
Yeah,
That's
Well, look at
exactly who I was thinking of. That's crazy.
Look at Pink when she first came out, and I knew, and people were going crazy. Then she went pop, and I was like, she's gonna
Yeah.
go pop. That's just the way she did it.
Yeah, not just Rick Astley. What's the dude that sung Robbie Neville? You remember Robbie Neville?
Robbie
Son
Neville,
from
From
the
the,
Roberts-
from the Neville brothers?
No, the
No.
white guy that he sung a song called "C'est La Vie."
Say la
Oh,
vie,
say-
say la
remember
vie,
that.
say la
Yeah.
vie.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
old, man. I gotta get
Yeah,
out of here.
man. And then the thing about "C'est La Vie" is when you hear "C'est La Vie," right? When you hear "C'est La Vie," you hear the drums, dun, 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 and then you hear the girls in the background singing they behinds off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
What you gonna do? What you gonna say?
Yeah.
You know, I got another one for you, Freezy. Barbara Stansfield.
Lisa
Lisa
Stansfield.
Lisa Stansfield.
Lisa
Been around the
Stansfield.
world.
Been around the world, and now, yeah.
Yeah. Lisa Stansfield, Tara Kemp. You remember Tara Kemp? Just want to hold you tight.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Robert Palmer.
Yeah,
Robert Palmer, yeah.
It's a lot of. There are a lot, and to be to be honest with you, there are so many people that contributed to R&B. I think they were saving it all along the way. Like for instance,
Look at Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates. And to me, even though I like Daryl Hall, John Oates carried R&B for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote Sarah Smile.
Serious man, that's one of my favorite cuts.
Man, come on.
It's so. Hey, it's one of my favorite cuts. It was so. And then you gotta think about it. And just real quick, Be Legit even had him out there, had him on his album when he did his version of it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, man. And anybody, y'all remember New Shoes?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't
wait.
wait.
And see, and when
That
we
was
go
my
to,
joint, not for nothing.
yeah, and so you may not remember it, but when you go to the Knicks game and it's just like the Knicks to say Randall got a rebound and he bringing the ball up the floor, and then over the intercom you hear doom 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 doom. Yeah, man. Them the Eurythmics. Anybody remember the Eurythmics?
You really sweet dreams are made of this.
Yeah.
Who am I to disagree?
And that song is so different from a lot of stuff that they put out. Like when you listen to the Eurythmics, I was like trying to listen to like they got like, nah, this ain't. Is this a one-off?
Yeah.
Is Sweet Dreams a one-off from everything else? And the answer is obviously yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is how were they able to catch lightning in the proverbial bottle like that?
I mean, the combination of the melody and the rhythm of the song is just, it's so unique. Like you can't, like there's it's just sometimes, and I think R&B does a really good job at it, but pop music has its moments where they really they hit.
Yeah, they hit, they
like,
dip into that side a little bit. They take some of that and then mix it into their little formula. And
right.
And pop music is nothing but sped up R&B if you're thinking about it from that aspect. At that time, it was just it's just a matter of just speeding it up to a higher tempo as far as again capturing that synth sound. Because if you look at it from the aspect of the instrumentation that was used, traditionally with R&B, it's guitar, it was piano, drums. With pop, it's like a synth sound, so they're going to use more electronic sounds, but they're going to keep the components and the melody of R&B and speed it up, so it differentiates from being labeled as R&B. You know what I mean? You're not going to hear Eurythmics on Hot 97 or WBLS at the time when we was growing up. You're going to hear them on Z100, and that's that. So, but you're basing that off of the sound that they carry, the instrumentation that they use to carry that over. Because the vocals, you could have switched out the vocals and put that on the R&B sound. You know what I'm saying? If you put some guitar behind it, you could put an acoustic sound behind their tracks and let it ride out, and it'll take a completely different turn, but it'll still have the same effect. You know what I mean? So I think really it boiled down to when it came down to that genre specifically in that time, it really reflected more on instrumentation than it was anything else. I think you could always look to the traditional sound of R&B to carry that to be R&B. But when it came down to the electronic sound, I think that's why pop was able to carry over and be different overall, even while it takes components from everything else.
Right.
Right.
Let me add. Oh, go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, and the other thing is like you also see the influence of R&B music on the pop culture and to how they formulate and put together the songs. Like in my mind, I was just thinking of, and this is, I'm giving you an example of something that's definitely not. It's pop, like the Bangles, "Walk Like an Egyptian," or Manic Monday, which was written by and produced by Prince. But it's it's still a pop song. And like you don't hear the harmonies in it. If you listen to the song, whoever's singing is singing individually. There's not a bunch of harmonies a part of it. But then you look at Tears for Fears.
I was just thinking about them. I was just thinking about them in Spandau Ballet.
Right.
Yeah, you know what you know who they were. True by Spandau Ballet.
Yeah,
definitely. But was it Tears for Fears? Charbel, can you help me with it? Was
Everybody rules the world.
Everybody rules the world.
Everybody rules the world and shout.
No, I'm talking about being produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
That was Spandau Ballet.
That was Spandau Ballet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like that, like and damn it, that Everybody Rules the World. First off, the song, the instrumentation on it is dope. That is so catchy. But even the bridges, the little bridges in between in that song with the harmony. Oh man,
right. Man,
good stuff.
What do you think about the outfield in under those circumstances? Like Use Your Love Tonight, would like that classify it as far as just listening to their harmony, right? Again, going into that conversation about pop and you know what I'm saying, and pop, the way you can have that harmony resonate so well, that if you just listen to an acoustic version of it, you're borderline R&B. You throw their original take on it, and it's okay. Yeah, that's a pop song. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Journey. You know what I'm saying? Soft rock, pop, but with the voice that that Perry has, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Perry has an R&B voice,
right?
Where
well, you know who has an R&B voice, very, very, very underrated. When you hear him, you like him, but you might not admit it.
Uncle Freezy.
Steve Winwood from Traffic.
Yeah. Steve Winwood. Yeah, I mean he has that. Yeah.
Steve Winwood has that. It's not Joe Cocker-ish, because to me Joe Cocker is here, and then your Michael McDonald's, your Steve Winwoods.
Michael McDonald's a bad man.
Yeah, the others come, but when you hear Joe Cocker, like when you hear Woman to Woman, and people, for instance, people don't know Woman to Woman. They're like, Woman to Woman, what is that? That don't sound. It's knick-knack paddywhack. It's California Love. The sample from California Love, that's Woman to Woman by Joe Cocker, and it's the same beat used. It's the same thing used for EPMD when they showcased a young up and coming rapper named K Solo who was trying to get on.
I swear, Freezy, every time you say something, and that's how music has evolved, and I guess that shows that I've been around a long time. Every time you say something and you point to a song, there's another version of a song that I always think of first.
Right.
Like when you said Woman to Woman, I think of Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin, yeah.
Right. When you said something earlier, and immediately it brought me to Superman Lover.
Yeah.
As soon as you said, I thought Redman. Like
Redman. Yeah. Everybody thinking about it. And and when you said Woman to Woman, I was thinking about Betty Wright.
Yeah.
Right. Betty
the
Wright.
Slow jam. The slow jam, Woman to Woman by Betty Wright. Yeah, but a lot of so it leads me to this question that I want to ask y'all. So rap, right? Soul and jazz, other forms of black music, so to speak, have like these boundaries that are enforceable by somebody, like some type of culture police always enforce. Oh, a white rapper can only do, you know what I'm saying? Or yeah, she sound good for a white girl. But did y'all notice that R&B really don't have like
They don't have that same
boundaries?
stipulations and stuff.
Yeah. But like your parents or grandparents even would listen to a song like Bobby Caldwell. You know what I'm saying? You find everything again. Or what's the other one? What's the other one, Chuck? The other Bobby Caldwell. There are times when you need someone.
Yeah.
What's the, I forget the name.
Open your eyes.
There is a light that shines, especially for you.
The common joint. That's the common
Let's
joint.
open your eyes.
Yeah. Open your eyes. That's it.
Open your eyes.
Okay. Yeah. And I think they did a version where Daryl Hall sung that for Common, right?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates, he sung that for the joint. Yeah, but I remember being in a club and the DJ played "Just Want to Hold You Tight" and Jane Child back to back, and nobody batted an eyelash that those two artists was white, right? Nobody even batted an eyelash that they were white, right? So is R&B more open to people of more culturally open than other forms of music?
I think so, in a way, because you think about the crooners. Look at some way they talking about the crooners that were out there when they was doing their thing.
All right.
It's more, I mean, like I said, when I was talking about Bobby Caldwell before, before you saw him, you didn't realize he was white, and you had the nigga like, dang, he white? Oh well, and just went right on into it.
Right.
He's like, man, he can sing.
That's
the way he can sing. So you kind of roll into it, while the others had the stipulations, because you can get a white rapper, but that white, oh, he's a white rapper and he's here, or But when you say Bobby, like I said, only reason I brought it up because I always thought it was funny when people never seen Bobby Caldwell. But when you say Bobby Caldwell and you talking about his number one song, "What You Won't Do for Love," nobody talks about how he looks. You just talk about the song.
My jam.
That's my jam. Yeah,
well, that's why.
I was gonna say my son is 12 and that's his favorite song.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, that's that's his favorite song.
Raising him right.
That's just because he listened to Tupac.
Yeah.
But that's why I was just gonna say, like, it so let's not say soul, let's say R&B. That's why R&B music had its lane where it just, people just feel good hearing it. And it doesn't matter what nationality, what origin you are. If you sing it and it sound good, people gonna move. People, that's why I like R&B, because it makes people feel good. It may not give you that dance that you want when you want to get out there and party, because that's what everybody want to do these days. But it just something about it makes you feel good. When we first heard New Kids on the Block, they got their love, they were, the Maurice Starr and all that mix of what he was trying to do with them. They had their hits, their pop hits and blah, blah, blah. But, be honest, nobody was really checking for them in the hood or in the African-American circles until they came out with Please Don't Go Girl.
Yeah.
Right. And then they were like, oh, this little boy can sing. Yeah. And it had that soulful sound to it, right?
It sounded like Is This the End by New Edition.
Right, exactly. Right.
He just took the same formula and put them out there.
Yeah.
And then the same thing, like you took it to another level when you infuse a nice groove and some good sounds by a combo group with I Want to Sex You Up.
Oh yeah, Color Me Bad. Yeah.
Color Me Bad, exactly.
Well, let's look at Justin Timberlake.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He went solo, and then like I said, it goes down to, I mean, he could blow, but then when you get that right producer who can pull it all the way out, he and Timberland was like, when they came together, it was like peanut butter and jelly with the stuff he was putting out. So that's why I'm saying, that's why we need Delano Steele and Chuck Allen to just go, get in the lab. We just need to lock them away, get in the lab and put out some platinum hits.
Sooner than you think.
Yeah,
There
man.
you go.
Yeah, man.
There
Yeah, man.
you go. And just I want to throw this out there. I think we talked about this before, but I'll put it since we're talking about this show and we're talking about blue-eyed soul and all types of stuff infused. When we talk about Justin Timberlake, can't forget JC Chazez, the other co-lead singer in that group, in sync, because when he did that song Bring It All to Me, Bring It All to Me with Black. No one knew he was white. They thought that was a brother singing that.
Well, I got another guy that he only put out one album, Remy Shad. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Shad.
Yeah, I remember him.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah, and it was, I like it. I still to this day, I'm when you're saying, when I'm making that drive to Vegas, I'll put in some Remy Shad just to go on down there, just to, cut a corner, to change it up. But I mean, he had, what I like about it was he had a good voice and the music, and it gave you a good feel,
Right.
So it's just, I mean, when you're talking about, but nobody really cared about when you said, he's like, he is, okay, well he on point, he blowing, and just keep pushing.
The soul thing. Let me ask the panel this question. Just since we went there, since we talked about boy bands, and since we talked about all cultures creating R&B, do you believe, or panel, do y'all believe that maybe boy bands ruined R&B?
No,
R&B got ruined for different reasons. For one, sonically, everybody tried to mimic R&B, but R&B had its own identity at that point, which is the one thing that's lost right now. R&B is dying because the identity is no longer the same. So right now, when you listen to, okay, I'll give you an example. Roddy Ricch, the box has a melodic sound to where the entirety of a hip hop song,
and PTSD,
is all melody.
Yeah.
So now, do you classify that as R&B because it's melodic, or hip hop because of the content? Ja Rule and 50 Cent basically carried that sing song aspect of hip hop to where, okay, now I can play this late night, because 21 Questions could have been classified to some as a hood love song. Yeah. So now that becomes a conversation of, okay, well, what's the identity? Is that hip hop or R&B?
And now I'm listening to Woo. Woo. You know what I'm saying?
I think the issue really is more about the identity that's lost, because especially when you consider that R&B became lame to the urban audience. So now you have to give it an edge. So now you need the bad boys of R&B. So a Chris Brown can't come out with the song like popping anymore without, okay, I need that edge to it. It can't just be an R&B record anymore. It has to have edge.
Hey, DJ, let me say just real quick, just to insert something. So about 30 years ago, I had the same conversation with my roommate Brown. He is the original music encyclopedia. I'm version 2, but Brown passed away, so I guess I'm the encyclopedia now. But we had this conversation about New Edition, Boyz II Men, and Jodeci, right? How New Edition came out and they had the same imprint as the Temptations, as the Delphonics, as the Stylistics, as Blue Magic, and groups that came before them, right? And Boyz II Men, who were cornballs, probably still cornballs, but they tried to get a street image, right? Remember, they came out as a 4-man group, and they didn't dress up like New Edition. Remember that they used to wear baseball caps and try to mix, and shorts. They tried to mix the stylistics with some street stuff, and it looked awkward, right? It was like, these dudes, you really have on a $400 blazer and a Philadelphia
But
Phillies
but that
baseball
that was they style that Michael Bivins gave them from a character on a soap opera though.
Right. Oh, so that's one of the things I'm getting at. But you know what? You know what Jodeci did? Jodeci said, "Fuck it. We ain't listen. We ain't doing none of that."
Yeah, they kept it straight street.
Yeah,
Combat boots and windbreakers.
yeah.
Mhm.
And these dudes and Casey and JoJo were not even that. When you hear their backstory, they were more straight laced than the boys the men, and definitely New Edition.
Well, you definitely blame Diddy for that, but in a good way.
Okay, yeah. What I'm saying is what I'm getting at is the finished product. What was presented to us was these images, because they did the Come and Talk to Me remix, and while the beat is playing, the dude comes on and he's singing, "Come and talk to me," and the dude just busts in, "I got a 9, baby," and so you like.
Well, hey Freezy, but that's just like that guy. That's just like guy. You can get a piece of my love, dumb bitch. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
Aaron Hall, yeah, Damian Hall, yeah. So what I'm saying,
but that's the new, he's talking about the new version of that.
Yeah, but
yeah,
the
which
new
is
version,
crazy.
Yeah,
I
crazy.
ain't
yeah.
I ain't never even heard it.
But yeah, when he was saying that, I got a 9, baby. He just threw that out. You're like, what the?
but yeah, man. So what I'm getting at is that thing that was once. Yeah, I remember R&B looked and dressed a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have people that enter R&B and they don't care what R&B is. Jane Child had a song that was fire. You know what I'm saying? I Don't Want to Fall in Love. It was blowing up overseas. It was blown up overseas, and it wouldn't blow up here. And so they got Teddy Riley to do the remix. Teddy Riley was just going through the thing with Guy. I remember he had just left Guy when the dude from New Edition, shot and killed somebody in the bodyguard in Guy. And Teddy Riley's like, that's just too much. I just can't take this no more. I can't take. So Teddy Riley left Guy, and he was broke, and he did the Jane Child remix. Right, he started doing all the stuff at Jive, like mixing all the he was working this dude like a slave, a dude named R. Kelly that we hadn't heard of yet. Working this dude named R. Kelly like a slave, like a dog, stealing everything from the Neptunes. The Neptunes we hadn't heard of yet was working with Teddy Riley. All the know what I'm saying?
Yeah, back in all that Virginia connection right there.
Yeah, all these things going on with and so Jane Child coming in the game, she dressed up like a rock star. Remember, she was the chick that had the trucker chain attached to her nose.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I hated that. I remember her.
Yeah. but the song every morning when we got up to go every morning, like getting up to go to work, you know what I'm saying? On the radio, all the New York radio stations, you hearing "Been Around the World" by Lisa Stansfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I Don't Want to Fall in Love by Jane Child.
Jane Child. Mm-hmm.
Because they were
doing it down in Louisiana.
Yeah, they were the hottest two R&B joints in the thing. And just before that, another white girl had us "Just Want to Hold You Tight" by Tara Kemp. The stripper half naked looking shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so all these images changed the game of R&B, because it went from, if y'all remember, Shalimar used to dress nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shalimar, M2Me.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Jackson, Melba, Hush Management, Melissa Morgan.
Yeah.
All of, man. What's the dude that sung "Let's Start Love Over"? Let's start love over. Back to the way we were.
I'm about
Forget
to say,
about him.
not Gerald Albright. It's not Gerald Albright.
God dog it, I forgot my man's name. He sung the song "I'll Be a Fool for You."
It's not Colonel
J.
Miles J.
Miles J used to dress nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Keith Sweat.
But that was the knock on R&B too, because the way they dress, because they were always wearing the nice little suits and the shirts and y'all clean cut.
And here comes Jane Child with a chain in her nose.
The chain in her nose. But what really did it, because you remember Boys and Men and Jodeci were about the same when they came out, the same, in the 90s when they came out, and you had this side, But then Jodeci, like you said, they coming out with stocking caps and the leather pants sagging and combat boots. And you like Jodeci, you like, oh, they must be rappers. And you put it in, come and talk to me. You like, what the hell?
Forever My Lady. Well, I remember hearing when I heard Forever My Lady and I looked at the album cover and I was like, this can't be right.
Yeah.
But how I knew it was right was because a dude that I want to get on the show eventually, a dude named Father MC. He was in a video, Treat Them Like They Want to Be Treated, right? And you saw how they were dressed in that video?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So yeah, that's why I asked y'all the question. Like, are all these things contributing factors to the slow death of R&B, or is it that? Because this is the other question I want to ask: is R&B music right now so good that we have a hard time picking out what songs are the best?
No.
No,
because
you know what is hot garbage by somebody that's got something fire. Like I said, you know it's either gonna go platinum or diamond, or it's double bar doo-doo or wood. You know.
Right. So Try, what you think?
I think the best R&B, like I mentioned earlier, the best R&B are like from the artists that came out 30 years ago that they're not getting no promotion. Kenny Lattimore had a great album.
Oh man, Kenny, yeah, he sure didn't. And people slept on that.
Sean Stockman just dropped his solo album after like how many years he was with Boyz II Men?
Like 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Vision of a Sunset was fire. Y'all remember Vision of a Sunset on the Mr. Hollis Opus soundtrack?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Hollis. Oh man, Mr. Hollis Opus.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the R&B that's being done now, like by Justin Timberlake and Bieber, you know, Harry Styles, is that still considered black music? I mean, because they're doing R&B. You know what I'm saying? They're putting out the best music for that genre, in my opinion.
Right.
Because
I think the problem is the R&B acts are hidden because they're not marketable. If I'm being honest, it's not a selling point. So a regular guy can sing and be one of the premier talents, but because you can't market him, there's nothing spectacular about his look.
Right.
It won't equate to dollars. The sound. I mean, I'll give you a prime example. Lucky Day has a dope album called Candy Drip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who out on this panel? Who's heard of that? Who's heard of that album? Who's even heard of that artist?
I listen to
Lucky Day. Yeah, I listen to Lucky Day.
Yeah.
I got it out.
But you know what I'm saying? Now it's because we listen to R&B. We're seeking it out, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with Daniel Caesar. Like, is there a
man? That's my guy.
You see what I'm saying? But there's not going to be a lot of people that's going to have this conversation with us the same way and not be lost. The moment you mention guys like that, they're looking for the ushers because it's recognizable, right? He's already marketed, so I don't have to market him a certain way for today's consumers. But a Lucky Day is going to be harder to do because he's unassuming. There's nothing about him that stands out. It's all talent, right? Again, Daniel Caesar.
That's another good one.
Fabo. The artists that we don't even know about because of the fact that, again, they're under the radar because there's no selling point. They're not sellable, you know, as far as in the consumer market, especially when you're catering specifically to one specific sound.
Generation.
DSJ. I don't agree with you, bro.
Well, let me throw this out there for you.
I think y'all might be wrong on that, right? And here's why. I'm gonna
go ahead and rock.
So I think we wrong on that these artists can't be found thing, right? And here's the reason why. See, because back in the 70s and 80s, you were at the mercy of either what the DJ played, what you heard from other people, like you go to their house and the records they was playing, or what you could preview at the record store. Right now, however, I bet you Everybody on this panel has at least one music app on your phone
Nope.
that will play random music.
I still buy vinyl, Freezy. I don't do streaming.
Okay. But you understand where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
A streaming app will play random music, bring the music to you, right? And if you're dope, you can look at that and see how many people like that song just to see if it's not just you. And what happens is the more likes that artist gets, the more streams that, yeah. So if you dope, unlike before, like I'll give you an example. I was walking a girl home and a car came by me and he was playing a song by Glenn Jones. Right? Yeah, I remember Glenn Jones.
Show me.
Yep. Right. So I hear the very end of Show Me before the DJ faded out. And I'm like, yo, what was that? And the dude think I'm trying to rob him and he punch it and trying to get the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm like trying to figure out, I'm listening to the radios because I didn't catch enough of it to hear what the song was. And by the way, the same thing happened with me with a song called Come Clean. I heard the end of Come Clean. I was like, what was that? And it took me like a week to find it. But anyway.
J. Rule the Damager?
Yeah. But I didn't know it at the time because I heard the car had drove by a bus. And I'm like, oh, dang it. But anyway, but nowadays, if your music is dope with all these streaming platforms, bro, your music can reach the people if the people think you are good enough. But if the people don't think you are good enough, you're not gonna make it. But if you were an unknown artist back in the day, you had to work your way all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, do you know how long Anita Baker was on the circuit before she got discovered? She was always dope. That's why when she came out, she had so much music. But when a New York music scene has got Hush Management and Luther Vandross and Keith Sweat and all these people coming out all at once, you could get buried. Nowadays is harder to get buried, even though there's more competition, is what I'm getting at. There are more people doing it now. Oh, go ahead, DJ. My bad, bro.
No, actually, I was going to ask a question especially in regards to Anita Baker. Do you think the problem with her was the fact that she was maybe misclassified? Because I remember when she came out, they were referencing her to jazz. She was a jazz singer.
Yeah, she was a jazz singer.
I don't. Again, when it comes down to like Bobby McFerrin, is considered a jazz singer, right? But Don't Worry, Be Happy is the first thing that'll come to mind because it was a pop song. I think with Anita Baker was classified initially as a jazz singer, and
but not if you was in the New York tri-state area. Because if you lived in the New York tri-state area, you remember she was a part of Club Wars.
Right.
She was a part of Club Wars. Like she legit used to battle her Luther, Melissa Morgan, Keith Sweat. All of them used to battle each other for club dates.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if that was the problem with her. Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if that's the problem with her, that she was misclassified initially as a jazz singer. And because of that, like the trajectory didn't come as fast as it could have.
No. It wasn't that. I'm telling you. She was in Club Wars. Like she legit had to fight for concert dates at these clubs in the city against your Keith Sweats, against against everybody. It was like 10 or 12 acts.
Jackson.
Yeah, that battle for club dates in New York City. Like such and such Friday night at the Palladium, Anita Baker, you know what I'm saying? 2 nights only come but then across town, you would be having Freddie Jackson and that group he was in. Was it Mr. Magician? It was Magic Parrot before Freddie Jackson got to Hush. He was in a group and they had a song called Mr. Magician. Mr. Magician. Okay, maybe I'm an old man. Okay. All right, so but anyway, when you walk the streets of New York City back in the day, say Manhattan, you would see a wall and it would be wallpapered with flyers of acts, R&B artists and stuff trying to get on at certain clubs. And you'll grab a flyer and it would have like 8 acts on it. And you'd be like, who the hell is Full Force? What kind of name is that? I wonder, what do they do? Beatbox? You know what I'm saying? And then you had see names at the very opening act, Disco 3. What the hell is a Disco 3? I thought it's not the Treacherous 3? You know what I'm saying? And so in DSA, what I'm saying is in these clubs, like you had to be dope in the city or people wouldn't come back to see you, because if you whack over here, say if you whack over here and Freddie Jackson is dope over there, the club owner not booking you again. Right? So in the city, in New York City, at all these clubs, all over the place, you know what I'm saying? All over, all Midtown, everywhere. You had to be dope, bro. And so after the fact, when Anita Baker had her albums come out, people may have miscast her, right? Like they would be putting her, like when they line up her music, they would put it in the wrong section. Maybe that's the case, right? But those that remember Anita Baker when she was younger, they like, why Anita Baker ain't got an album out yet? Why Keith Sweat don't have an album out yet? You know what I'm saying? Why Melissa Morgan album ain't selling? What's up with Mother's Finest? Why Mother's Finest? People sleeping on Mother's Finest. It's like these acts that were around the city, they were out. Bro, it's not like Christopher Williams. He walk up to a dude, yo, I can sing. Oh yeah, sing me something. He sings something, and the next thing you know, he doing what's the Bobby Brown song Christopher Williams did, Chuck? You remember? Oh God, the first song Christopher Williams did, it sounds just like Bobby Brown.
I'm Dreaming.
I'm dreaming.
No, I'm Dreaming is after that. I gotta Google it. It's on the tip of my, but it sounds just like Bobby Brown. It just let me look it up. I'm gonna look it up, see if I can.
Because I'll be honest, that's kind of the confusion I had with Christopher Williams and Johnny Gill, because Rub You the Right Way and I'm Dreaming sounded so similar that I actually confused them a couple of times, just off the sound. But as far as all the acts that are coming out that you're talking about from that time frame, a lot of them already had some level of star power in their voice. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's more hidden today because it's not as marketable as it was then. So now again, it's a harder sell because a guy like a Capella Gray took a year for him to pop, and he needed that Juvenile back that thing up sample in order for him to even pop to where, okay, a year later, now everybody's catching on. But that song's been sitting on the shelf. I've heard that song at least a year before it even became a single.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes down to today's music, it's more hidden because it's not sellable.
Are you talking about promises?
No, I'm talking about Talk to Myself. I talk to myself.
Yeah.
There is the one to
talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds just like all of
My
Bobby
Prerogative.
Brown. Yeah, it sounds like the elephant walking songs. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I think Ashley Inc. was throwing Night and Day out there. That's I'll Be Sure.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. When you said Night and Day, are you talking about the song or the group? Because you know there was a group that came out named Night and Day called, and they had a song called Dante's Girl that was on the Wood soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Maybe that's what, I don't know. Maybe that's what Ashley Inc. is referring to.
I'm asking because I don't want to confuse them either, but I know that there's the artist, the 2-man group that came out called Night and Day, and then the song. So I didn't want to confuse it either. I just wanted to be sure.
Never heard of
it. Yeah. Promises. That was a jam too, bro.
Well, Listen, guys, I gotta run. This has been great. You know, I could talk R&B all night, but unfortunately, I don't have time. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta do some other stuff, and then I got a show at 8. But I gotta do some stuff for the show right now before I go to bed. So
Yeah, man. It was good talking to you, bro. We gotta do this more often, bro.
hey, man,
Like we gotta
listen,
pick a topic, man, and just chop it up, bro.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Appreciate all you gentlemen.
Before you go, let me, because I was gonna ask everybody this. Before you go, name us 3 R&B songs that you feel like are underappreciated.
Underappreciated 3 R&B songs. Let me see here. Shoot. Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna hit you with 3 of my favorite songs that I like, and one of them is definitely underappreciated. Slept on. People are on snooze fest in that song.
Fool's Paradise, Melissa Morgan.
Ooh, that's a good one. No, one of them you probably never even heard. Oh, that's a good song though.
Yeah.
One is Addicted to the well, it's called Addicted by Cisco.
Okay.
It's on his solo album, but it's an R&B joint, man. R&B joint. It's, if you hear it, you like, oh, okay. Oh, this actually is good. It's a really good song.
Right.
Another is, these are more mainstreamy, but 7 Seas by Babyface.
Okay.
You listen to it, you know what I'm talking about. You hear it, it's called 7 Seas by Babyface. Very underrated song. And Share My World by Mary J. Blige.
Oh wow.
That song should have been a much bigger hit for her. It's one of my favorite songs she's ever done. So yeah, I would say those 3 songs. But you know, that's just if I had a little more time, I'd throw something else at you. But that's all I could think of at the moment.
What? I had one that I wanted to throw at you because I wanted to see if you heard it. It's a song by Vesta called Sweet Sweet Love.
I'm not sure.
If you hadn't heard Sweet Sweet Love by Vesta, you have not lived, my friend. Okay. It's a joint called Sweet Sweet Love by Vesta. Should have been maybe Song of the Year, 1989. And 1989 was a great year for every genre of music. Yeah,
I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna listen to it on my while I'm doing my other stuff. I got it pulled up right now. Vesta Williams, Sweet Sweet Love.
Yeah.
You know, when I think of Vesta, I think of a couple. You know, congratulations, and you know what I mean. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I guess we won't do this New Edition overrated thing because
we've done that already, and I'm not answering it again. I will not. I refuse. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you're bringing me there.
New Edition. You lazy bums.
Nothing can be better than a group that can give you a 6-man group, a 5-man group, then give you a different 5-man group, then give you a 6-man group,
a 3-man group, a 2-man group.
There you go, buddy.
Acts. Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan.
And if they had done better by Ralph Tresvant, we'd have even more to talk about.
Ralph Tresvant's a clown.
Hey man, listen, if it wasn't for Ralph Tresvant, there might not be no New Edition.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If it wasn't for Bell Biv DeVoe, there wouldn't be a second act of New Edition.
It's hip hop, smooth it out on the R&B tip with a pop appeal to it.
Yeah, with the pop appeal to it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, whatever. And then, it's semantics.
I can't believe Freezy is on this New Edition is overrated campaign. That's what it is.
No, I just think there are groups better, bro. I just listened to Troop's album, the one with Sweet November on it.
So you're saying Troop was better than New Edition?
No, I ain't saying that.
No, that was a good album, though.
No, I'm not saying that.
Then what we doing here, Freezy?
No,
remember,
what I'm saying.
The other thing is, don't forget, New Edition also took you on a ride of different types of music. Oh, you think, we just a pop group? You think we can't sing? Well, let's hit you with a little Can You Stand the Rain? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, I have a hard time listening to New Edition's early joints now, though.
Oh well, yeah, they
I-
sound like it's bubblegum.
Yeah, I think it's dated. Very,
Popcorn
very.
Love.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's. I think. Is it? Did you get it yet? Did you get it yet? Get it yet? Ooh, my secret. Yeah. No, it sounds like I should be breakdancing. It's like Turbo should just bust in my room and spin on his back. Yeah, man. Hey. So try. You got 3 songs that you think are underrated?
I got there's one from Music Soul Child called Brand New. That was on the second album. Just listen.
Yeah.
The Weeknd, he has a song called Rolling Stone.
Okay.
It's like an acapella with just like him singing and guitars, and that was like a great song. That's from like one of his like early mixtape albums.
Okay.
Damn, that's hard though. There's so like many songs like going in my head right now, but I'm gonna say New Edition. I'm gonna say where it all started, from the Heartbreak.
Yeah. Okay, Chuck, you got a couple?
The first one I'm gonna go with is a joint off of Soul for Real's first album. It's called Where Do We Go From Here?
I remember that. I used to listen to that when I used to have my Helly Hansen jacket.
Yeah. My second one, I don't know if it's under Groove Theory. Tell me. I'm gonna stop there because my head is hurting. I don't know. I can't say what is underrated or underappreciated. But I'm gonna say those 2 for sure.
Okay. Hey, Soulfinger, you got 3 that you think before we get out of here?
It's so much out there, but one just come to mind right off is my man Alexander O'Neal. If you were here tonight.
Oh, that's my joint. Oh my.
That was one right there, because I think that whole he should have been bigger than what he was as a singer. That man could blow. The man had
blow being the operative word.
Yeah, well, besides the other stuff, but yeah.
No pun intended, but yes, intended.
Yeah, and I always thought Alexander O'Neal was very talented Soulfinger, so that is a good one. And you're right with blow being the operative word. I saw that on Behind the Music or whatever, Untold, Unsung. I saw his story. That's a rough one.
Yeah,
it's a rough one. And see, it's so many people. I would say, man, I'm gonna say off D'Angelo's last album, Really Love, because it was
it's my favorite one.
That's a cut right there. And see, you said 3, and it's 2 people I want to say. Donnell Jones is one guy, but because
which Donnell Jones song?
Man, that's the thing. It's either Donnell Jones or Daily, because I was thinking about Daily with the cut he got with
Ambrosius.
Yes.
Because Alone Together.
I don't think people Alone Together. That song, because nobody really, people just slept on. That's a really nice album, and he could blow.
Right.
So it's kind of, I know I'm kind of low key cheating, but I'm gonna say, man, I can't say. I mean, just Donnell Jones, period, man, because people just kind of like forget. When you talk about R&B, people don't even talk about Donnell Jones, period. And the man had some hits, man.
And that first album was hitting.
That first album.
Second album was good too, but that first album had some joints.
That first album, Yearning, was just a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
So I just pick one out of the Donnell Jones category. I was just gonna say Donnell Jones. That's all I'm saying. I can't say song. I'm gonna say Donnell Jones.
Oh, he cheating.
He just
man.
because all right, hey, look, if I gotta pick one, if I really gotta pick one, oh Lord, it's going to have to come off that first one, the first album, and I'm just gonna say, knocks me off my feet.
Wish You Were Here. Oh, knocks me off the Stevie Wonder joint. You
Yeah.
like that over Wish You Were Here?
No, I'm just grabbing one because I mean Donnell Jones.
The harp on that is fire. The harp on that is fire, bro.
But this is Donnell Jones. Period was he was fire, and it's just the way things were. So it was coming down to two. But I'm done. I'll keep going because it's just too much out there.
I'm gonna go next because I know DSJ, the R&B singer, is gonna have some fire. So I don't want to be a wet blanket. I'll just name three, and then that way I can let DSJ get in his bag. Right. So this is a question that's really tough. I'm gonna say a very slept on song historically is a song called "Don't Ask My Neighbor" by The Emotions.
Oh, Freezy. Oh,
I think the Emotions might be in the category of top 10 greatest, female groups of all time. But they get slept on because the competition when they came out was so hard. Like if they had come out now, they'd be best group in the world. But when you coming out at the same time as Sister Sledge and the Pointer Sisters, you're gonna have competition, right? You coming out at the same time as Denise Williams, and what's the Stevie Wonder Love? Remember y'all remember Wonder Love, Stevie Wonder girl group?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And so another song is another group is "I Just Love the Man" by the Jones Girls. And for those that don't know, "I Just Love the Man."
We know the Jones Girls. That's your group, Freezer. We know.
Yeah, the Jones Girls were very, very slept on. For those that don't know that song, "I Just Love the Man," it's the song at the end of House Party 3. Somebody covered it. That's the song when they coming out to church, when Kid and some other female group covered it. But that song is originally the Jones Girls. And my last song, last but not least, is a song called "I'm a Good Woman Looking for a Good Man" by Sweet Obsession. Right? Sweet Obsession. Yeah, Sweet Obsession. Bro, when you hear them when you hear the pain in their voice, when you hear the pain in this girl's voice, like how she been looking for love for so long, she damn near crying on the song. It sounded like she wrote the song herself. Like when you get in your 30s, you've been looking for love for so long, and everybody been letting you down, and then they just ask you to sing about it. You could hear emotionally, she's trying to hold it together to sing this song. Bro, you know what I'm saying? You don't get see, that's soul music right there, right? And I got one other thing I think is a sleeper, the most slept on song by En Vogue. En Vogue has a song called "I'm Wasting My Time," and it goes,
"Wasting My Time." Yeah, man, that's the cut right there.
Waiting
on you to come home.
Yeah. Oh,
that's off that first album.
Yeah, man. When you hear that, when you hear the disappointment in that lady's voice, when the phone rang, and it's not her man, it's her friend calling. "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, girl, I thought you was such and such." And she's like, "You waiting for him again?" And she's like, "Again."
Well, it's like that Dave Hollister too. That's another one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, DSJ, you want to go and get your bag?
Hey,
DSJ?
Freezy cheating. He hit us before.
No. Yeah.
He gave an honorable mention.
And yeah. I didn't even, my honorable mention could be my favorite song of all time. And I'd even throw that out it wasn't a single, but My Heart Belongs to You by Jodeci.
Oh,
classic.
Man, that's
every time me and Mo argue, right? It's a back and forth. Like I know she's gonna put on some Mary J. You know what I'm saying? Like I know she's gonna put on that My Life joint. But I already know it's gonna be songs 7 through 11. I already know. So I already know to get on my best behavior. And I'm gonna throw on that Jodeci, My Heart Belongs to You.
I'm waiting to hear DSJ's joints, but let me tell you, The Public Enemy's putting some fire in the chat, man.
Yeah, through the rain. I didn't even notice. Yeah. Oh my
through the rain.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. Yeah, man. Oh man. Tanya Blunt. Oh my goodness.
Nope.
Hey, DSJ, you ready?
Nobody know Tanya.
Yeah, I got mine. Okay, so for me, because he's one of the icons, Rocket Love by Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Lose Control by Silk.
Oh, that's my jam.
But that's a joint,
Now
though.
You're Gone on Floetry's debut album.
Oh man, that's a good one. Because I was thinking about the second one, Imagination. Even though that's on another side, that album was that second album. Lord,
if you like Lose Control, do you like that song Taking My Time by After 7?
Yes.
I do.
Man, Taking My Time.
Shout out to Floetry, Marsha Ambrose. Let me tell you something. What she did, just like her background vocals on Butterflies with Michael Jackson.
Oh my God, yes.
Man.
I'm gonna ask you, have before, did any of you ever see them in concert before?
Oh, no, I've never seen them in concert.
No. I saw them in concert. And I'm gonna tell you, when you listening to them, you put the CD in or put it on wax, it don't do them justice after you hear them live. It's a life-altering experience.
Like Luther, yeah.
Man, look, Marsha's just, I had never heard of it. I was like, she artificial. That ain't supposed to come out no human when she was hitting them notes and stuff and them octaves. It's ridiculous, man. She can sing.
Right.
She can sing. I ain't no sing. She can sing. I never heard nothing like that, man.
Yeah, I've heard quite a few overrated. I used to love a song called Diary by Alicia Keys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard her do it live somewhere. And I was like, I wish I could dig in my ear and I wish I could take a plumber snake and just go and just get it out. But I understand that everybody have bad days or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she already had like a very strong voice. There was some deepness to it and richness. Yeah. But when you have that type of voice, singing constantly over the years, you get a little bit more raspiness. It don't rock the same.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to ask you, Cass, one more. Have you ever heard of this Kanya Dawes? Anybody ever heard of her or listened to her?
Never heard of her.
Check out Kanya Dawes. I got all of a nice.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, like we were saying earlier in the conversation about, and it goes back to the marketing. Because you think about it, think back in the days on the commercials, they were singing on commercials, right?
Right.
So what are they doing on commercials and things now? They're rapping on everything.
Yeah.
Everything's a rap.
It's true.
So back in the days, you had somebody saying, think about, when you talk about discovery and marketability, Tyrese, he got discovered singing on the bus. He was known as the Coca-Cola boy.
The Coca-Cola kid,
boy. Yeah, the Coca-Cola kid. Now look at him. He's singing Sweet Lady on the bus. Got his albums and stuff, so it's just the marketing. Well, Kanya Dawes, I like her, and she's I consider her like along the line of in that genre, the neo soul genre. But she's got about 8 albums? I gotta look at them in there. I got them all. But I love Miss Kanya Dawes. Hey, she check out. I was just saying, check out.
Yeah, man. Well, hey guys, I'm gonna wrap up right here so we can get out of here because I know we all got some stuff to do that we got to do in the AM. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Try as usual, my brother. It's a pleasure.
Salute to you.
It's a pleasure, and I still be checking y'all out, bro. I always check out Reg, even if I don't say nothing.
Appreciate it. You need to come on the live stream sometime with us.
Yeah, I be wanting to, man, because sometimes I be hearing stuff. Oh, not hearing, but I'll be reading the comments.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
They don't know the music. They don't know it.
Yeah. I'll be tempted to just jump in, but I already be having my hands full of stuff because I got this channel and Lawrence Tears and work. and I'm working from home, and got 2 puppies, and you know how it is. You know how it is, bro. Yeah. So if I can, man, I'm gonna definitely jump on, even if it ain't nothing but for a few.
Appreciate it, man.
Ron, as usual, anytime we have conversations like this, you know, the second, third person I'm gonna ask is Ron. You know, I gotta check with Chuck, man, see if Chuck be up.
Got
you
to.
know. Yeah.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Thank you as always for having me. You know, I love it when you're gonna talk about R&B. Hit me up.
Yeah. Am I considered the R&B encyclopedia yet, or do I have some more learning
No,
to do?
I wouldn't say you're an R&B encyclopedia. I give you more of a music encyclopedia. It's not just R&B. You're really good, and your memory is really good, which is one thing that I lack. I lose a lot of my memory stuff, but oddly enough, when it comes to R&B, I still remember some of that stuff.
I remember a lot of stuff. I have a lot of useless knowledge under this Polaroid logo.
Oh, and shout out! I didn't mean to cut you off, Freeze. Shout out to King Poppy. Happy birthday, brother! Many
happy
more.
born day, bro. Hey, happy born day.
Happy birthday. You know what I mean? and so DSJ, Soul Finger, man, it's good to see y'all. Chuck, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Me and Chuck will see each other tomorrow morning on live. We are going to talk about cancel culture. That's the topic. Cancel culture. One false move and you ruin forever. Yeah, cancel culture. You got to be perfect all the time now, because before if you slip up and say one thing,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. People are canceling you. So yeah, man. Chuck got the joint out now. Okay.
Hey, I got a question before you go, Free.
Okay.
Oh. Hey, are you and Chuck gonna do start name that track again?
Yeah, well, I think we did a joint venture with Sam on the Front Stoop.
Yeah.
And so we working through that. And so I'm also working on getting some celebrities to come on the show. And some other things me and Chuck had talked about behind the scenes for live. You know what I'm saying? We were, but as soon as we finish that and some formatting things, then we'll consider getting back to that.
For sure.
The only thing about that is we can't get people to submit music anymore because they submit music and then it's like on YouTube channels or they don't own it, and then we get warnings and claims and strikes and all that stuff, and we don't want to do that. All right, man. Hey, Chuck, Chuck playing some poetry. Y'all hear it?
No, he's saying all you gotta do is say yes.
Yeah. All right, y'all. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for coming through. DSJ, I'm gonna play your joint before we go, okay?
I got you.
All right. Hey, thank y'all for coming through. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Yeah. Shorty, let me holler at you. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good goddess. You're misunderstood, cause you're from the hood. From first eye contact, I knew I had to have that. Had a feeling you were something special. Didn't know if I could match that. You draw a crowd just to say hi. You make it happen, you stay fly. You big and everyone know. If I was a stock, you would raise mine. Even with a t-shirt and sweats on. Girl, you work it for me. Don't matter what they say about you. Baby, you're perfect. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good goddess. You're misunderstood, cause you're from the hood. That Dominican girl, East African. African queen, call you my cinnamon girl.